So on top of this, I want to have another conversation about another SEC team. One that is very close to me because, well, they're around the corner and because I really like their head coach, and that's Arkansas. So following Arkansas basically handing a win to Oklahoma State that Oklahoma State tried to hand to Arkansas first, Arkansas fans are back to we suck and it is time for Sam to go. And I'm going, I understand you feel that way because Arkansas is hungry. Let me unpack this. Arkansas is hungry. A&M is thirsty. Arkansas is hungry. Ole Miss is thirsty. Arkansas is hungry. Nebraska is hungry. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you're seeing all the nice things that are happening in Nebraska right now, you're feeling some kind of way. Now, that said, Nebraska ain't done nothing to be proud of in better part of 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess you could go back to 2009 if you want to with Ndamukong Suh playing the Big 12 championship game, but I don't think they would count that because they think highly of themselves, and they should. But Arkansas is hungry, and the thing that I think is difficult to sometimes cut through with Arkansas is get past how people feel about the program, get past how people feel about Sam Pittman, get past how people always want to dunk on the state of Arkansas. As a man who grew up in the state of Mississippi, did time in the panhandle of Florida, and lives and calls home Oklahoma, I understand. I don't like it when people try to make fun of me like that. The only people that get to make fun of me like that are from here. If you bust knuckles, if you know how to use a propane tank, if you know how to drive a tractor, if you know how to drive a stick shift car or truck, if you know how to bale hay, you can talk noise. If you don't, I need you to shut up. I need you to be quiet. We know what you city folk think in New York and LA. We know. You ain't got to tell us. We know. We seen your movies. You know what I'm saying? We also see your earthquakes. We see the waters receding, and we see y'all coming toward the middle where gas is $2.61 down here. Okay? Put that out there. But the thing about Arkansas on a football field is I think many people would say that they expected the offense to be good. I don't know if they expected to be this good this early with Taylor Green, Bobby Petrino, and them, and Jaquindon Jackson. All Jaquindon had to do was hold on to the football, dog. Like, he had one hell of a day. 149 against Oklahoma State. You know, Taylor Green went for 400 yards, but didn't complete more than 52% of his passes. That's not good. But the thing that I was focusing on wasn't the offense. It was the defense. And what was jarring to me is it's a part of the defense that I expected to be great. You know, like, as we're talking about Arkansas football, we knew that there were going to be some growing pains here and there, but one of them was not supposed to be the defensive line. Like, that's a concern for Travis Williams in that his defensive line just hasn't come on in the first couple of games, and they really need them to come on quickly. 2 reasons on that. 1, you need them to come on. 2, Travis has shown you that if you can't get home with 4, he will send 6. Like, do you realize Travis Williams ran cover 0 56 times last year? He will zero blitz the hell out of anybody to get pressure on the quarterback. And probably on downs where they should be playing coverage. You know, me, I love it to see blitzing linebackers and defensive backs. Oh, I'm about to cook you. Somebody open. Maybe 3 people open. But you don't want to have to do that if you're Travis Williams. You want your defensive line to get home. But the defensive line has been a problem because they can't get pressure on a quarterback. Couldn't get pressure on a 7th-year quarterback in Alan Bowman, who has been playing college football long enough to get a master's degree and a real estate license and still be a starting quarterback at Oklahoma State here in 19th grade. But it's telling in that they're going up against this offensive line that they were stymieing in the run. Like, you ought to be very proud of how you played the run if you're Arkansas. You allowed just 49 rush yards from what was the best tailback in all of college football last year in Ollie Gordon. The problem that you were going to run into, though, is you didn't win no one-on-ones. Now, on the one hand, Oklahoma State returned everybody from their starting offensive line last year. Everybody. So it's a seasoned team. They understand what they see, and you're not going to fool them with twists and stunts. And then they did something that I did not think they were going to do because I thought they were good enough to do BOB, which is big on big, you know, man-on-man protection, right? They slid to Landon Jackson. And not half slides neither. Like, they chipped. I take that back. They chipped him. He gets chipped a lot, so they did half slide. But I'm watching Landon Jackson basically end up with 2 people on him on pass downs. Like, on 3rd and long, they were chipping him, they were sliding to him. And they were saying somebody else is going to have to beat us because it ain't going to be that dude. And nobody else could do that. You know, on the one hand, you look at Landon Jackson's stat line, he got 4 tackles, 1 for tackle for loss, and no sacks. But again, he's the focal point of your offensive game plan when you got to throw the football. That's called respect. So when he's getting that kind of respect, you expect other dudes to take advantage. You expect other dudes to show up in a big way. And they just ain't had that. You know, like they had these defensive ends and Anton Juncal and Nico Davalier, and they ain't done nothing yet, man. I mean, we're talking about guys like, I think Juncal had 15 sacks last year in FCS, 21 and a half tackles for loss with Albany, which is the same Albany that Jared Verse had come from before he went to Florida State. They expect it to be good. Eric Gregory ain't done much of nothing either at defensive tackle. They got to win one-on-ones. And by they, I mean people not named Landon Jackson. Because if you don't give them, if you can't beat somebody one-on-one in the SEC as defensive tackle, defensive end, you just not going to get home. You just not. And matter of fact, you'd be right to ask, what are you doing playing the SEC if you can't win a one-on-one on defensive line? Because that's where the game is going to change. Same thing on offensive line, which we'll get to with Oklahoma here in a bit. My God. They get UAB to finish out their non-conference schedule, and UAB is bad. Like, they've already, I should say their offensive line is bad. They've already given up 5 sacks this year, which is, 100th in the nation. Trent Dilfer's still trying to build something there, but I expect Arkansas to take care of business. And then they got to go into a gauntlet of SEC play. But watch their defensive line. And if you're an Arkansas fan and you are not paying attention to your defensive line, you need to be. That's top of the list for you.